In the hope that one day we'll go fishing again, let's just run the motor up, give her a bit of TLC. While we're at giving the motor a run up, we may as well also just check the steering, because I do have cable steering on the FC535. So basically I've undone the steering rod here, which means that the motor turns freely, as you can see, and I can undo the steering rod, take it out, give it a clean, put some extra grease in there if that's what's required. Now, I'm not sure if this is the right stuff to use, but I'm using a white lithium grease instead of a grease gun stuff. I found with the grease gun stuff that it can clog up and make things really hard as it dries out. This stuff I've had in there for about 6 months. It's worked really well, so I've just got a process of every 6 months or so of disassembling the steering, giving a clean, making sure it's all tickety-boo. So I'll take you through that process. So yeah, first of all, disconnect the tie rod. Then take off the seal end here. So you can see the little O-ring in there. Just check the integrity of that. That looks all pretty good. Now basically it's just a matter of cracking this big brass nut here. And that of course holding the other tube. Wee hee hee. And there we go. One steering cable. So it actually looks pretty damn good. That grease that I put in there last time seems to be good. So we'll turn the wheel and you'll see this extend in and out. Yep, so that's running really smoothly, and you can still see we've got a layer of our lithium grease that's been in there for a little while. So I'm no marine guy, just your average boat user guy that knows how to do a little bit of maintenance. Then the other thing I like to do is just make sure we clean this tube out. Obviously the big component of that rod sits in that tube. Okay, now we'll run a rag through the housing here, the tube, just to clean that out. So that's the housing, that's a before shot. We'll give it a clean out. You can see that there's a grease nipple here for your standard grease. But as I said, I'm using a white lithium stuff, so yeah, we'll show you an after shot of that. Okay, so I've just made a simple pull-through mechanism, and that's some gun cleaning cloth. So you can see there's a little bit of residue on there, not too bad. We'll put that through a couple of times. Just putting a bit of brake cleaner in there to help break down the stuff that's in there. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of gunk out there now, so that's great. Okay, and back to the reassembly phase. So basically spray a bit of love juice in there. Spray a bit of love juice on the outside of this. Not over tightening, but nice and firm. Now this wouldn't be able to be done if you didn't have this clearance here. Now some boats have the actual cable exit right here, and you need about 600 room to actually pull that whole shaft out. So that's the beauty of having the outboard on a pod like this. We're able to do that. Okay, to the other side, you want to make sure that O-ring is positioned in correctly, which it's clearly not there at the moment. Okay, so I've just taken that O-ring out because it wasn't sitting in that groove properly, but I'll be able to put that in there. Like so, which means it maintains its shape. Let's turn the handle a bit. Slide that O-ring in place. Oh, you fucking idiot, I'll just crack that. Yeah, dumb. See you next fucking Tuesday. Okay, so we're going to get a new one of those. That clearly was just about to say not to over tighten that. So I have, so it's easy enough to order that part. So what it means is I won't be able to put this back on properly because the seal needs to come off. So what I'll do is we'll just stick this in temporarily so you can see the process. Bend that shaft and that should go in there. And then you can do that up. So, so we'll take a photograph of that, contact our mates at Fish City and get a new one of those ordered. And we can get that sent up and we'll be all tickety-boo. But that's how you service that particular shaft on your cable. That's generally the bit that I've found previously has been a seizing point for people. It's just all the built up grease and what have you in that chamber. So yeah, the steering's nice and free.